So hey guys, my name is Victor James. I'm with the band Fans of Jimmy Century, and today I want to tell you why I got rid of my Atem Mini and went with YoloLive. And right here I got the YoloLive Pro and the YoloLive Instream. YoloLive. Yeah, otherwise known as YoloBox. I'm also going to tell you the reason why I went with the YoloLive Pro and the YoloLive Instream instead of the YoloLive Ultra. Actually, what the benefits of that is later in the video. And also, this is not a tutorial video, by the way. This is why I switched from Atem Mini to YoloLive and why I think they're a better product for me personally. So let me tell you a little story. So during the pandemic, I got my very first Atem Mini, the original Atem Mini, which was a great unit and it worked great during the pandemic, and it fit pretty much most of my needs up until the pandemic got over, and then I needed something with a little more oomph behind it. So I actually got rid of that one and got the Atem Mini Pro ISO, which was actually really cool because what it does is it'll actually record all of your cameras. So I had 4 cameras set up for our live stream when we were doing an actual full band in the rehearsal studio. And if you look at some of our live streams, you can see that. And you know, after you get done, if you have someone switching, maybe you don't like the actual switching that they did, so you want to go back and re-edit it. With the Atem Mini Pro ISO, it'll actually record it to a hard drive, and it'll actually put each video in its own slot right through Blackmagic's editing software. So it worked out great. And then we got to a point where we didn't have an extra person to do the live switching. So with the Atem Mini Pro, or any of the Atem Mini products, if you actually go into their software, you can make it auto switch through the software with a thing called micro. And you have to go through and you have to kind of figure out the timing and that kind of stuff and make these things, and then hit the go button and it'll actually auto switch your cameras. So you don't have to have someone there actually pressing the button, but it just does it in the exact same way you programmed it in, and you have to sit there and actually program it in and figure out how many numbers you want for each scene, and then you can loop that scene, and you have to do it on the computer. You can't do it on the deck itself. And so that was kind of irritating. And then when we actually started playing out live again after the pandemic, if we wanted to live stream something, I had to have not only, we played a backing track, so not only the computer on stage running the backing tracks, and we also have videos and all that kind of stuff synced up to our live show. So we have another computer that just runs videos and lights. And then I had to have another computer that was just set up for the Atem Mini, because we wanted to stream to more than one place. We wanted to stream to Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. To do that, I had to have the Atem Mini and another computer and either a landline or Wi-Fi, and a Wi-Fi was fast enough to do it. That got a little irritating, having to pack all that stuff to the show, you know, just for live streaming. And then I ran across a video one day about the YoloLive. The YoloLive Pro that I have is actually a 3-camera, and it's not 4 like the Atem Mini, it's 3-camera, but it actually is 4 because there's a USB in that you can actually use a USB camera for that. I only stream with 3 cameras, so it really wasn't a big deal. And now I actually have I just got the newest Osmo actually, so I will be using that as a 4th camera through the USB, and that'll be basically just following the singer. One, it's everything is in the box. You don't need another computer. You don't even need Wi-Fi. You can actually do it with a SIMS card. You can actually put a telephone SIMS card in here and actually live stream it right off the SIMS card, which I was like, also hotspot it to your phone. It does have a landline for a hardwire internet. It also does Wi-Fi internet, which so did the Atem Mini. This one, if you don't have Wi-Fi in the building, you can put a SIMS card, which when we go out and play live, I was just like, oh God, I need that, because it would be so much easier than trying to get the Wi-Fi password. Or if we just did a show in Reno for New Year's, and they had Wi-Fi in a casino, so everyone was on the Wi-Fi, so it was really slow. So it would have been perfect to have this at the time. I could have put my own SIMS card in there and, you know, popped it out of my phone, shoved it up in there, and away we went. Now, if you're someone who's actually not really looking to stream. You actually just want to record and get them all synced up in one little nice bundle. Then the Atem Mini Pro ISO is probably actually a better bet for you. Like I built this for Heartbreaker guitars right here, and it actually is with the Atem Mini Pro ISO and 3-camera deck on there, and they're not streaming live at all. All they're doing is recording it. They want it to all go in a nice little bundle, so they can just send that bundle right to their video editor. The video editor can just open up the DaVinci Resolve file that the Atem Mini Pro ISO automatically creates, and he can just have everything lined up, synced, and ready to start editing. And that works great for them. In my case, I was actually live streaming, so that's why I sold all my stuff and got the YoloLive Pro, because this thing is everything in one box. You don't need an external computer at all. It does everything. So if you look at this, I'm just gonna go here and go to the monitoring area. You can do live streaming. Like I said, this is not a tutorial, I'm just showing you. You can do lower thirds, you can do video on video. You can create different virtual cameras. They're not called virtual cameras, that's what I call them. But basically, like if you have pre-recorded videos, it could be a virtual camera. So instead of just switching between 4 cameras, you can also switch to that actual video.
I have multiple cameras here. This is actually my camera with green screen on the YoloBox Pro, but I also have video, and then I put myself over the video using picture-in-picture. So this is my picture-in-picture or PIP. I have a camera overhead looking down at my setup here. I have a camera off to the side. This is my little USB webcam. And then I have a camera over here looking at the inputs on the YoloBox Pro.
And then you can also take that actual video and make a picture-on-picture, and that could be an extra virtual camera. And there's just so much more you can do with this right in the box than you can with the Atem Mini, that it just blew my mind with all the features. And one of the main things I wanted is I wanted to not have to have some guy doing all the switching for me. And the way Blackmagic had it set up with the Atem Mini, to get that to auto switch, it was a lot of work. And this one, you can actually just go into the settings and you can pick which cameras you want to and how long you want each camera to be on right there in the auto settings for it to auto switch between cameras or scenes, or virtual cameras that I just called them, and then you can actually even set up your picture, a picture-on-picture one, and do the exact same thing, and then set go, and it'll either go straight down the way you designed it, and loop, or you can say randomize. So you can just click on the fly, hit randomize. It'll randomize the switching for you, and then you can actually pick the camera that is your main camera. So like when we are shooting, we have a wide shot that's our main camera, or maybe the camera that's tight on the vocalist will be the main camera, and I can just say that's my main camera.
Now, what we really want to talk about is this icon in the bottom right corner. I always get it wrong. The bottom right corner there with the 2 cameras. You can see it right over here. This icon down in the corner. This is our auto switch. Now, there's a couple settings in here now. The video sources, you can turn on which cameras you want. HDMI 1, SD card. I'm going to use the picture-in-picture video, HDMI 2, USB, and my HDMI 3. So I'm going to use 4 inputs. Done. I can set any of these to different times. By default, they're about 10 seconds, or I have set these to 5. Done. 5 seconds for each of these inputs. Loop. This is a very important thing. Now the auto switch loops. Did you notice that you can adjust how long each camera is up independently? So my picture-in-picture video, which is me, I'm going to want that up a little bit longer. Let's go to 7 seconds on that. Done. The HDMI 3, which is my rear view of the thing, let's do 3 seconds on that. So we got 3, 4, 5, and 7 seconds. That's going to be very different than if every single shot was the same duration. That's going to make it very different. There are many different tools other than YoloBox that can do auto switching, but they're not going to give you the variety to adjust the times for all the different cameras. We're going to put it in a loop. Now, switching order, random or sequential. You want to have some variety to it, so you're really going to want to random. Say done. Next, main video source. This is really special. Having a main video source, like me talking to you, this is the most important thing. Now, you can tell the YoloLive which is your main video source. It's my picture-in-picture video. It's this one. This is where I build that connection with my viewers, so I want to come back to this one more.
So while it's randomly auto switching, it'll keep going back to that main camera because it knows that's the main camera. You know, that's the money shot. So we got to keep that camera most of the time. And so I thought that was just amazing. It's all in the box. It's easy to do. You just go into settings, boom, boom, boom. You're ready to go. With the Atem Mini, you needed to have like OBS or another streaming software like that to really make it functional, especially if you were going to live stream to more than one social media site. This is why I switched from Atem Mini to YoloLive. Right out of the box, you can actually live stream to 3 different websites at the same time without going through a third-party website. But they actually do have a plan through YoloBox or YoloLive's website where you can actually go there, it'll live stream to there and then take off to even more than 2 websites. I only really need 3, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. And so it actually works perfect for me because I really don't need any more than those 3 websites. And it also, if you click on the little controllers down here on this little box, and you can actually see all your chats come in from every social media site that you're live streaming to. So you can watch your video that's being switched here and your chats. So that's why I have it set up like this. So if I'm just live streaming, I have my camera here, this up here, I can see the live stream, I can see the chats, and it's just perfect if I'm just live streaming like this, just talking to someone. With the band too, we do it too. It has an external out that you can go to a bigger screen, but that's not what I do, and I'll tell you why. So when we actually live stream, and this is one of the reasons why I went with the YoloBox Pro and the YoloBox Instream instead of the YoloBox Ultra, and this is actually the main reason I went with that, because you can come out of the HDMI here to where you go to a bigger screen, and it'll give a clean signal if you have it on the right settings, and you can actually go in to your YoloLive Instream, and then with the Instream, it actually streams to vertical social media sites like your Instagram, TikTok, and even Facebook, etc. And with the YoloLive Instream, you can actually stream to 3 other sites. So you can stream to like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. And Facebook, you're actually coming up vertically with that. So you take the clean signal out of here, go right into here. Now, there's another thing that the Atem Minis did, but you actually had to be sitting at the software. You had to go in and crop the picture in the software. And here's another thing though, is after you got the picture cropped the exact same way you wanted it on the Atem Minis, if you switch cameras and then you switch back to that same camera you cropped, it's gone. So now you have to go back into the software while you're live streaming, recrop it, and then go back and forth. With these, like I said, you get the virtual cameras or scenes that you can set up. So you can actually crop. So you can take, if this camera has 2 people in the shot, you can actually come over here and you can crop that so with only 1 camera, so 1 person's here and 1 person's down there.
I have over here, I have the same camera. As you can see, I'm waving my finger up and down, but we've had rotate before. You click on the little gear icon like this, and you can rotate. Now, if you click on this, now at the bottom it says, right here, it says cropping, and this is the magic. Let's click on cropping, and this is where you can scale it down to just the middle of the frame, or technically it could be anywhere. I'm gonna, I can put it over there, and then I'm gonna say fit this to the screen. I'm gonna say done, and now all of a sudden you see I have this full-sized vertical crop from my horizontal video. So you can see here's my camera, here is the graphic over top of it. I could take the graphic off. You can do multiple crops. So if I'm over here and I have a crop, I could actually do a double crop. So we're going to take this again. We're going to do cropping. We're going to do zoom it down and pretend I've got a friend I'm talking to over here. We're going to say fit to screen and say done. And now I have both me and my friend, which is over here. I have a double crop and I can cut between those 2 cameras.
And how we do it is I'll have our main camera and it'll actually have a HDMI splitter on it. So that's the tight shot of the singer, like I was saying, if we're doing live, if we're doing a live band shot. And so I'll actually have an HDMI splitter on it, and I'll have that in camera 1 here, and then I'll have the other end in camera 1 over here. So then what I'll do is I'll crop that, put it on the very top of the vertical screen, and then I'll have another wide shot that's coming out of here on the bottom. So we have our tight shot up here and our wide shot down here when it's doing a band live stream. So the whole wide shot is actually going to the exact same switching that's here, and then they have a tight shot just on the singer. And then when we all come up to talk to the chats afterwards, and you can see all the chats come up on each social media site you're doing, and all of us will come up to the main camera and be able to see our faces straight up. So that's why I use these two together, because I can actually stream to 3 sites here, 3 sites here vertically, and all at the same time. And if we're out on a show, like I said before, and there's no internet, I can put my phone SIM card in here and my wife's, who's a singer of the band, SIM card in here. Still doing the same streaming with no internet. It's pretty amazing. And again, the Instream has all the same stuff that you have over here. It has the lower thirds, it has the countdowns, it has the blah blah blahs and blah blah blahs. It's got 2 mic inputs on both sides. I don't really use those. What I do is actually use the mic inputs on my, because I'm using a Sony A6600s and the preamps are really good. So I actually just come right out of our mixing board, have an aux send from the mixing board right into the A6600, and I tell these devices that the only audio I want is coming from that camera. And it doesn't matter how many switching I do, the audio will still only come from that camera. I will have tutorials on how to do all this stuff in another video, so stick around. Right now I'm just telling you what is so great about these 2 little devices. The only thing that they don't do that the Atem Mini Pro ISO does is record each camera individually on its own track, so you can sync it up in a video editing software, or it's already synced up in DaVinci Resolve for you when it actually comes out that way. The YoloLive Ultra actually does do that. It'll actually record every camera individually. It'll also record the switching, and it'll sync it up so you can just drop it in the editing software. Now, here's why I didn't get the YoloLive Ultra. So the YoloLive Ultra will do exactly what both of these units do all in one package. And it probably would have been cheaper to get the YoloLive Ultra instead of these 2 units. But my thing was I wanted to stream, I didn't want to have to live stream 2 shows. I wanted to live stream 1 show and then be able to go out on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. And then I also wanted it to go out on Instagram and TikTok and probably Facebook again on one of our personal pages, but vertical. And with the YoloLive Ultra, you only have the option of either doing horizontal or vertical. You can't do them both at the same time. So that's why I went with the 2 different units, because that way we can do them both at the same time and I don't have to do 2 shows twice. So we don't have to like do our whole band set and then, okay guys, let's do the whole thing again. You know, we could actually just do it all at once, boom, it's done. And that's what's beautiful about the cropping capability and the actual picture-on-picture capabilities of both these units, but this unit especially for making a horizontal shot vertical. It's insane the capabilities that this thing has. And we sometimes do some acoustic things, so we're only doing Instagram and TikTok, and then I'll just turn my camera sideways and do it that way. Usually we're only doing that with 1 camera. Now this thing actually is it's a 2 camera, so you can have a 2 camera shoot. So if you're doing tutorials, you can have a camera over the top and a camera on the bottom, and it does have a USB, so you can actually have 3 cameras, you know, with a USB camera, like a webcam. The Atem Mini definitely has its place, but if you're just doing it mainly for live streaming, and you don't have someone to run all the stuff for you and an extra computer around, I would say go with these, and I would probably go with these anyhow, just because they're amazing units. They really haven't came up with something that I need more than these 2 units, which was a lot, because with the Atem Minis, I needed a lot more than what was in that little box. Bye for now. Please like and subscribe and share this if you do like the video, but mainly if you just give me a thumbs up, because that really helps get this video off the ground. So if you like it, give us thumbs up and comment, you know. All right, and check out the band stuff, Fans Jimmy Century or FOJC TV on YouTube, and We'll see you next time.